All right, fellas, today we've got a lot of stuff to do to the Hellstang, but the first thing that I want to do is we need to get the engine sitting a little bit lower. And one of the guys told me that there actually are some engine lowering mounts or engine mounts to kind of lower the motor. So I got on the Google interwebs, started looking around. I did find a set of motor mounts that supposedly will lower it, I think like 1¼ inches is what it said. Now, I'm also running the factory convertible motor mounts, and so I'm also hoping, I've heard that those are a little bit taller than normal too. So what I'm hoping is maybe that'll give me an extra like 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches clearance, something like that. So basically I picked up these big old motor mounts, and these things are freaking hefty, boy. I mean, Jesus, these things got to be 3/8 or something. I don't know. They are beefy, more beefier than I thought. And they were cheap, like 40 or 50 bucks. I'll put the link down below. But what I also like about it is when you get them bolted in onto the engine and stuff, instead of having like a welded bolt, which makes installation a little bit more difficult, this just has, you know, a bolt that you can set through. So that's going to make it easier for me right now to get these motor mounts back out, and then we'll be able to get this kind of set in place, stab our bolt through, and then hopefully this gives us a little bit more clearance. I have not tried the hood yet for the Hi-Ram, but this thing is very, very high, especially from about this portion here to here. This, I think, is where we're going to have the most contact. So even if I still have to cut a hole in the hood, at least with this, it's going to be a lot smaller hole than if I just keep the regular mounts, right? Now, we are going to a solid mount, so we probably are going to have maybe a little bit more NVH, vibration, harshness, all that kind of stuff. But hey, that's okay, especially if we don't have to cut a hole in our hood that's been beautifully wrapped and painted, you know, and all that stuff. So stay tuned. Let's give it a shot. All right, first things first. Now, I've already got the engine mounts loosened because I knew I was going to be doing this once the mounts came. So I'm just going to throw it on time lapse. You guys can watch me get the mounts out. I'll probably support the engine with my jack and a block of wood, and we can just kind of jack it up a little bit, get the mounts out, slide the new ones in, and we'll see what it does. Now, before we get too crazy, you know, one thing I wanted to do is actually let's take a measurement, find out if this really is going to work. So I think the easiest way is with our Hi-Ram on here. Basically, the back of the manifold right here is even with the, I don't know, this lip on the firewall or whatever. So, I mean, it's dead even. So we pretty much know any lowering from there, we'll be able to measure it. But right now, that's even. So that's going to be our marker. All right, so I got this first mount out. I just want to kind of do a comparison, right? So here is our mount. This is a stock 94 convertible mount. So, you know, it's shorter, the angles are different, so we're going to have to see how that all works. Now, one thing I noticed is like when we line the holes up, you know, they're lined up, but then the hole for this bolt is like a little bit back. Come here, buddy. So what I mean by that is this stud here, you know, which goes like in the first kind of slot location, seems like the other one's here, which might be fine. But anyway, let's see if we can slide it in, see what's going on. But let me just clarify what I'm talking about. So on the stock mounts, right, the stud goes in this first slot, and see how there's another slot behind it as well. It almost looks like when I was mocking it up that maybe they go in this back one, which is fine too. I don't think it matters, but just interesting. So we'll see. I'm also worried because these are slots and it's shorter, it's going to push the engine down. I'm just hoping I have enough slot, you know, for it to actually work and go in. So let's see if they slide in. All right, the mounts went in pretty dang easily. So you saw me end up using the engine hoist. That just was so much easier than trying to mess with the blocks of wood. But so anyway, yeah, they slid right in. The first, when I thought there was maybe an issue with alignment and stuff, there really wasn't. This one I just had to kind of, get it started, get the bolt through the bottom, and then it was able to all just go in, tighten up. Uses like the stock bolt size, like 22 millimeter. Or I had to use 7/8 because I had to get open end ratchet on it or open end wrench to be able to tighten it. But anyway, they're all in there. So moment of truth. Let's see if it's any shorter. Well, I want to say we didn't get 0, but we didn't get that much. Maybe an inch. Yeah, maybe an inch. Like basically the top of that, lid of the Hi-Ram, that was pretty much even before. So yeah, we got a bit. So maybe we did get about an inch or something, which is also good because that's going to help me for some clearance on the fuel pressure regulator as well. I'm trying to mount the fuel pressure regulator right here, and it was having some issues to clear with this notch. So maybe that'll help. But anyway, yeah, for, whatever these things cost, 40, 50 bucks. I mean, easy to install, super duper freaking thick too. Like I was a little bit worried because this style doesn't have like the extra reinforcements welded on the back like some of the other ones do, like the gold kind of plated colored ones. But dude, that is so thick. Does not need any kind of reinforcement. That baby is thicker than a Snicker, bro. So anyway, that should be good to go. So hey, if you need to put some lowering mounts on your 5-liter Ford, small block Ford 302, check these bad boys out. They seem like they work pretty good. So hopefully now we maybe got a little bit better chance of this hood closing. But I got doubts. I got serious doubts, boys. All right, you guys, you'll never freaking believe it. I was like, listen, let's grab the hood, have my wife help me. Let's just sit it in place. Let's just see if it works, dude. And I need to check it now. Obviously, once we get it bolted on, we need to check it, make sure there's enough clearance and stuff. But dude, it totally goes right down. No issues. This sounds like hollow too. Like doesn't sound like it's touching. So wow, that's pretty badass. So those lowering mounts must have definitely, that 1.25 inch, 1.5 inch, that must have definitely been what we needed. So pretty happy with that. And I can't tell, this is just sitting on top of here, so it's probably not through the hole and stuff, but man, pretty freaking awesome. All right, fellas, that's going to be it for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll catch you guys on the next one.